Happy NBA New Year. That's right. It begins today. Houston playing Oklahoma City. Golden State playing the Lakers. We're going to talk about those games. We're going to take apart all the NHL games. We got college football bets, NFL bets, the parlay of the day. But what does that all lead to? Money. This is not a sports show. This is a financial show. We're here to make you guys money. I'm Lawrence Pressman. You're watching the best betting show ever. The guy in the middle, Joe Raineri, he pays us to be here. And that other guy is Art DiCesare, a good friend of mine. How are you, Art?
I'm doing great, fellas. Prez, congrats on your Blue Jays.
Yeah, dude, I got to tell you that story. Joe, shaking your head again. What's going on? A little bit too much coffee today?
No, listen, I was on the Blue Jays last night, so I'm good. I congratulate. I was a little bit worried the minute you said you were actually going to the game because we know how that
You were worried.
how well that works. But yeah, I would imagine it was Sweatfest for about 6.5 innings there. No.
No, it was Sweatfest for 9 innings, Joe, and especially after that stupid bloody double play in the top of the 9th, the bottom of the 8th, and I was like, we need that insurance run. We got some home run hitters coming up, but man, I mean, Jeff Hoffman, there were so many things that I want to talk about in that game, but let's do it in a little bit. Let's focus on how the books did this past weekend in both college and NFL. We'll go there, then we'll find out where the money is. And before our parlay of the day, we're going to talk about my experience last night at the Blue Jay game. Hit the like button, everyone. Art, how did you guys do this past weekend?
Well, this is, it feels like we do this every time I'm on Tuesday. College, we crushed it. NFL, not so much. I mean, college, a couple of notable games that were really good for us. Georgia covering was really good for us. Alabama covering was really good for us. Those were two of note. When you look at the NFL, you look at that London game, and then you look at the other 6 early games, all the favorites win and cover outright. That's never going to be good for us. That's going to be nothing but parlays and teasers and all the money line parlays and everything. It's really hard to win in the NFL when all the favorites do is win and cover, especially early. Because even if a couple of late teams like Green Bay doesn't cover, you just get crushed on all the stuff that goes on early on in the day. So NFL, we're spinning our wheels a little bit here.
The public, though, had not done all that well early on. September, early on, it was a lot of dogs. We talked about the primetime games having some dogs, but ultimately the public was going to make a comeback at some point. It looks like this weekend, not great in the NFL.
No, for sure. And we've all always heard the old adage that in October, the public usually finds their footing in the football because, the guys who are locked in, the wise guys, the sharp guys, the groups who, really do this day in and day out, they stick longer with their numbers and their power ratings, maybe before they downgrade someone where, the public just comes in on a random weekend and they're like, oh, this is who I'm betting this weekend.
Yep.
And it just happens that way. So, sometimes public money wins. It happens.
Yeah, well, it does.
So, Joe, I'm going to ask you a quick question here as a fellow bettor and me as well. I had a bad week in the NFL. I went 1-1 last night. I went 1-2 on Sunday. So a 2-4 week, and I did lose both my larger plays. Offhand, I think you had a bad week as well in the NFL. My question to you is, do you feel better that the public won? Like, does it make, because we don't want to be on the public side on a regular basis, and we want to be on the side where if the books say we had, we won, we want to be with them. So do you feel better that the books stunk this past weekend? Because I do. I feel slightly better. I mean, like 1%.
Well, yeah, if it was our first rodeo, it might bother me more, but it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So, previous couple of weeks, the books have done good. We've done good. So, yes, ultimately, in a 17-week season plus the postseason, correct me if I'm wrong here, Art, I want to be on the book side more often than not. I don't want to be on the public side. I'd much rather be on the book side because part of me would rather die a slow death than to just lay chalk every week in the NFL. I'd rather die.
No, but Joe, I think you hit it. I mean, listen, we don't sit there. We're not going to sit there this upcoming week and go, well, the public's on this side. We're going to book to that side this week. We're not going to do that. And even if the public wins again this week, we're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. Over the long haul, we're going to book to the sharp, respected guys and the information that we trust. That's how it goes.
Yep.
Art DiCesare joining us, Joe Raineri with us. Guys, hit the like button. Thank you for all the comments. We're going to talk about them a little later at the end of the show. Art, let's move forward now. We got a full slate of college football, obviously. We got another week of NFL. Where's the money going? And also, afterwards, let's talk a little bit about the NBA markets.
Yeah, sure. I mean, let's start with the college. There are a couple of games tonight. You got Kennesaw at FIU. Open Kennesaw -1.5. We saw Kennesaw money. We're now up to 3 on that. Western Kentucky at La Tech. I know people hate when we say La Tech, but it is La Tech. We opened that -3. It's now up to 3.5 on La Tech at home. So you've seen some moves there, moving to key numbers of 3 and over 3, 3.5. And then a game on Saturday, which has seen pretty good sharp money. NC State at Pitt. We opened that 7.5 for Pitt. We're now at 6.5. So we saw NC State money at 7.5, NC State money at 7. Also saw under money on the game. It was 58.5. We're now 57 on the game.
It's interesting, Art. These early week games, right? The FIU, Kennesaw State. Listen, the betting public has no idea what Kennesaw State is. Where is it? They have no idea about Pitbull Stadium or the fact that it's Miami Vice night, by the way, at FIU here tonight. But tell me here, Art, how much does it take to move a line? Because in some spots, the look-ahead line was even FIU as a slight favorite. So does it take a ton of money to move it towards Kennesaw, or just a handful of the right people to move in a Tuesday night game like that?
That's what you hit. It's a smaller game. It's a Tuesday night game. So you really only need sometimes one really respected person to lay the number and you move it. And I mean, we could be talking that's a 2-9 bet. We're not talking anything crazy here because obviously those games even take lower limits than, what like Michigan, Ohio State would take, things like that. So really not much to move a line on the earlier games with the not high profile teams, I would say.
Art, let's talk NFL. Lots of movement at the beginning of the week. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? Fill us in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so, obviously throughout the week, we'll basically hit on all these games. Let's start with 3 here. Bengals at Jets. Bengals were 5.5. They're now 6.5. Obviously, the word's out on the Jets. Nobody's going to back the Jets, even though they closed as a favorite last week. The Bengals got a little bit of juice now. Flacco's in the mix. I don't know if we're going to get to 7, but Bengals are going to be very popular in the teasers and the money line, so you've seen the point move there. Miami, who seems like a dead team walking, is in Atlanta. Atlanta was 7.5, but now there's all this Penix problems. He might not play, kind of iffy. So they took Miami at 7.5. We're now 7. Look ahead line on that game, by the way, was Atlanta 2.5. So just Miami has completely nosedive. And then Denver at Dallas. This is going to see really good two-way action, but the initial money has been kind of, I would say no initial money yet. It's kind of been two-way, but we have moved Denver to 3.5. And we didn't move Denver to 3.5 off anything sharp. It's just kind of the way the market has moved despite our two-way action.
Starting to notice here with all the new kickoff rules, we have 7 weeks in the books here. Starting at the 40-yard line in a lot of these spots or the middle, it seems like the last 60 seconds of a half, I'm always getting points. Like, it's very... Are you noticing anything crazy with the totals market here? Have we really started to adjust some of these up because it feels like we're getting the last 2 minutes. Nobody can get a stop. Everyone, you need a field goal.
Yeah.
Great. Here's a
It's
field goal.
crazy.
It's crazy right now.
Well, you know it's been adjusted when we put up like a general game prop. Will there be a last score in the under 2 minutes of a half? That is a market that a lot of the times would sit at, let's say, minus a quarter, minus 130. Now that's like minus 140. Maybe minus 150. You trot the Dallas kicker out there who can kick it from 70 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's automatic. A lot of these guys are automatic. So you've seen an adjustment there. I don't want to say you've seen too much of an adjustment in the totals. I think those go week in and week out. Obviously, weather plays a factor in a lot of the totals. You saw that in Cleveland this week. You saw that in Chicago this week. A lot of big moves to unders because of weather. So that's always something that really adjusts things more than anything.
Art, it is our Tuesday show, so we do have you for a little bit longer. I just want to throw out some games that are seeing just an incredible amount of action on only one side. Does anything jump out at you here, like bet right now? So we got 87% of the money coming in on Cincinnati. You spoke about that. 90% of the money coming in on the Houston Texans. Wow. 76% of the tickets written on Buffalo. 93% of the money coming in on the over in the Giants game. Interesting. 91% on Indianapolis. 92% on the over in Denver. 91% on the over in Green Bay. 89% on Kansas City. Is anything screaming at you, bet the hell right now, this second, or are these all going to work themselves out?
Well, they can eventually all work themselves out and get back to a place. Houston's interesting because that was like one, and then it shot up before their game kicked off. And I think before we took their game off the board, when their game kicked last night, it's the second Monday night game, I think we were at 2.5 on the game. So, obviously there's been an adjustment there. The Niners keep just losing people. They just keep getting injured. Houston's not very good, though. So, I'm a little surprised by that move. I think Buffalo off a bye is going to see money. There's no surprise there. Now everyone's going to bet the Colts, so seeing Colt money is no surprise. They're going to want to bet that. When you look at a Giant Eagle game, you say there's a lot of money on the over. I think people are just going to look at the wacky game the Giants played. The Eagles are going to be in a revenge mode from a couple of weeks ago. Maybe there's going to be some points in the game, even though it's a divisional game. Those are usually tight. So I'm not really shocked. I'm a little leery of the early stuff. I mean, the Bengal one makes sense to me. I get why the Bengals are there. But I will say this, and this is crazy because I just said, how could you ever bet the Jets? But if we ever get to 7 on that game, they're going to bet the Jets.
Absolutely.
They're just going to. I mean,
but not only
they're
that.
bet the Jets.
Yep.
All right, not only that, but I think you're going to get substantial money on the Jets at +7.
Right.
100%. I totally agree. And if we got there,
No, 7's a key number. You know that. And how did you come up with the Lamar line? Because 6.5 tells me you're thinking he's playing, yet he didn't practice yesterday, and Harbaugh still says it's a game-time decision with the Baltimore Ravens. Why would the Ravens be laying nearly a touchdown if he wasn't playing?
Great question.
Because the Harbaugh said that, but we think today's practice is the big indicator.
It's the big, gotcha.
If Lamar is nowhere to be found today, forget about it. Then the Bear money flows in. And the Bears have been hot, right? 1-4 in a row, get better every week. And people are probably going to look to fade the Ravens. So I think today's the key indicator on Lamar and his play.
Yep.
There we go. So if you guys think Lamar is not going to play, if you know his
take the points.
Take the points right now.
Right now, yep.
NBA, Art, give us some NBA future bets, and then we'll get to our parlay of the day.
Sure. Let me just run through some of these over-unders and the movement we've seen kind of all throughout the summer. The Hornets took money. They were as low as 26.5 on their wins, now up to 28.5. Same thing with Milwaukee. We took over money there at 41.5, now 43.5. The Pacers, no surprise. They were as high as 35.5, now 32.5. Once the LeBron-Laker news broke, and they always bet the Lakers, but they pushed their win total down from 48.5 to 46.5. Boston also got pushed down from 43.5 to 41.5. Nuggets are our biggest liability to win the NBA title. They were as high as 8-1. They're now 6-1. Obviously, that pool's open all year. There will be plenty of money dispersed in it. But right now, the Nuggets would be our big loser. And let me throw one out there that I love. I love the Kings under 35.5. Sabonis is going to miss the beginning of the season. That team is a mess. The West is so good. The Kings are going to come nowhere near winning 36 games.
Ooh, fade the Kings. Yeah, I got one for you too, Art. What are your Philadelphia 76ers? What's that win total? Because whatever it is, it's way too high. Those three guys, I mean, this might be the greatest looking team ever on paper that will never see the court together ever, Art. It's the most unbelievable thing. Sixers, I saw them at 43.5, 44.5 win. Who are they beating here? Outside of Maxey, who else is going to be healthy enough to play?
It's amazing, Joe. That's a great team to bring up. We were 43.5. We got to as low as 41.5. Then we got bet back up. We're at 42.5. We have seen people we respect on both sides, Joe. We've seen people say, no shot, 43.5 is too high, 41.5 is too low. That's why we settled in the middle. That is one team that has seen a lot of kind of differing opinions.
Wow.
Because who knows with Embiid? Who knows with George? I think the young guards are good. Maxey and the kid from Baylor, they're going to be fine. But who knows? The East is bad, though. We know that.
Yeah.
Guys, before we get into our parlay of the day, really quick, did you guys, so, Art, I appreciated your text. You obviously watched the baseball game last night. Joe, you did as well. You were on the Blue Jays. Congratulations. Outstanding baseball playoffs betting-wise for both Joe and I, Art. I'm now on a 10-2 run in the playoffs, and I think Joe is right up there, man, 60-something%. So we're both absolutely springering the playoffs, if you will. So we watched Game 6. We got all caught up in Game 6. Me and my wife. She's on the couch. We're freaking out. It was so exciting. She's like, let's go tomorrow. I'm like, okay. We log on. We buy tickets. Lo and behold, we didn't realize that. So we bought in the 200s because I don't want to go up to the 500s. It's horrible up there.
Okay.
But we didn't realize that there was an awning and we were in the last row. So we could see all ground balls. No problem. But when the ball elevated, which is a thing in baseball, and you don't realize how often the ball actually elevates, no idea where it went. So we were very, very frustrated and hating on our seats. So she's like, let's just go home. And I'm like, well, why don't we go down to the 100 section and maybe we'll find we can stand because there's all the standing room in the 100. So we go down and it's mid inning and Vivian goes, let's go straight down to the field and take a picture. So we are literally at the barrier.
Okay.
And we take a picture and I turn around and there's 2 empty seats sitting in the 5th row. This is a trick to all of you guys out there. Whenever you go to a concert, whenever you go to a sporting event, buy the worst seats possible, period, every time. And then as soon as the event starts, log on to Ticketmaster, StubHub, whatever, Vivid, see what seats are available and just move into those. But we couldn't do that because the sites were all down.
Wow.
Anyway, we sit down. Nobody showed up. We had 5th row, literally at the foul pole for the last 4 innings where the home run came right past my head. And nobody knew if it was going out. The whole place held their breath. It was total silence as the ball was in the air. And we're like, also, to the blonde woman who was sitting to my right in those seats, you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Oh, well, I'm sure she appreciates that. I'm sure she appreciates that. I just want to rehash because the chat room yesterday had some questions about you going to the game yesterday. And they had a question about that jersey that you were flaunting on the show yesterday.
I left it at home. I don't want to talk about that jersey.
I'm just curious because a guy in the 5th row almost catch a Springer's home run ball. You didn't really wear that jersey to the stadium, right? You did.
No,
okay.
I didn't.
Just want to make
so
sure.
Vivian went to Walmart and bought 2 Blue Jay jerseys for $35 each. And you want to know why they looked like such garbage? After I did the show, I stood up and looked at this jersey and I'm like, no chance. No freaking
Chat room
chance.
wins again. Chat room wins again. Kudos to you guys for calling it out there.
Parlay of the day. I'm taking the Edmonton Oilers minus 120. Okay, Art, what's your leg?
I'm going the Golden State Warriors opening night on the road money line minus 150.
Wow. All right. You guys are impressive there.
Oh,
I
shut
guess
up,
I'm just saying here. Wow. Did not see that one coming there. I am going to go under with the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think we're going to get a little more defense, little less scoring opportunity in that one here tonight. So under in that game there, Prez.
There we go. And that is our parlay of the day. Art, thanks for doing this, man. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. We love having you with us. Enjoy your day off, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time. It's $5 Tuesday over at WagerTalk, and I got the rarest of rares, dude. I have a 4% money line bet tonight. I am on a 20-6 run in these plays. My NHL money line bets are the strongest plays that I release every single year. I am 63% in them in 2.5 seasons. This is my strongest NHL play of the entire year. It's up. It's $5. And I also have a NBA future bet up for $5. I am a perfect 3-0 lifetime in future bets in the NBA, a perfect 3-0. So head over and check that out. What do you got going for the clients, my brother?
I have 2 $5 bets as well on Customer Appreciation Day. One of them is in the NBA in one of these 2 games there that you can go and pick up. Love this play too, by the way. And the second is, of course, college football here tonight in one of these 2 Conference USA games. Love these early week games, Prez. I love the value. I love the lack of public interest in the market in these games because it usually leads to great value here if you follow those teams. So love it tonight, Conference USA. $5 each. You can go over to the page at WagerTalk.com.
Okay, brother, let's get into the rest of the show. We got 5 segments, 2 minutes each. We're going to start with our college football early bets. Cue the clock, Joe, and let's go. Okay, guys, I'm going to start right off the bat with Arizona State minus 7.5. Let's get right into this game. I love it. This game features one of the single most disruptive defenses in the entire country going up against an offense that is, well, capital letters, shit. I'm talking about Houston versus Arizona State. Arizona State is coming off that massive upset win over Texas Tech. And the reason they're in the hunt for a conference title isn't just their offense, it's their defense. This unit lives in the backfield of teams. They force turnovers. They are 6th in the country in passes defended. This team makes things miserable for opposing offenses. And who do they get to tee up on this weekend? A Houston team whose O-line might be the worst in Power 5 football. The bottom line here, Joe, is the matchup favors Arizona State. I know it's minus 7.5. I think they win by more than 10. Take Arizona State minus the 7.5. What do you got for us?
Oh, I like that, Prez. And I got to tell you also, I think there is a game on Friday night that's interesting between Cal and Virginia Tech, because all I have seen is Virginia Tech money here up to 4.5 right now. It opened up at 2.5, and it's been all Vatech. And listen, anybody that's been to Blacksburg or has seen Blacksburg on a Friday night, it's not an easy place to play. But this is getting to the point now at 4.5 where Justin Wilcox, the Cal coach, forget him as a favorite. I still don't know how he friggin' won that game against North Carolina. Oh, that's right. I remember, because North Carolina fumbled the ball into the end zone there and they couldn't get it done. It was awful. But I do think getting 4.5 now, I don't trust the Virginia Tech team that already fired their coach. I'm going to take what isn't broke, and Wilcox as a dog on the road has never been broke. I'll back Cal, and I'll take the 4.5.
There we go. Let's go right into NFL early bets. And Joe, I'm going to start with the San Francisco 49ers here. This team, this line baffles me. What am I missing, Joe? Houston at a pick'em. Now you're going to sit there and tell me, well, the San Francisco 49ers are injured. Really? They were injured last week. Well, they're super injured. Really? Well, they were super injured 2 weeks ago. Well, they're super duper injured. Really? Because they've been super duper injured all year. Does it frickin' matter? This San Francisco team is playing great no matter who they roll out. They just played an Atlanta team with supposedly the best player in the league in Bijan, and CMC were like, yeah, not so much. Get out of here. The defense, no players that we know. Get out of here. This San Fran team is a pick'em against a Houston team that got turnovers galore last night and still looked horrible. This Texan team has looked good once this year, once. And now they're playing a San Fran team who beats everybody anywhere with whoever the hell they have on their team. We're going to take the 49ers here, Joe. This line boggles my mind.
Like it, Prez. And I'm going to go to the NFC East here with the Giants taking on the Eagles. And what is it, sitting right around a touchdown now, Prez, I believe, with the Eagles. And the big fear here for the Giants is that they're going to lose this game, that Denver game, twice. I'm not quite sure. It would have been such a better game had the Giants actually finished it off in the fourth quarter and won, at both of these teams coming in off of winning. But now the Giants have to shake that off. I'm not sure they can, but here's what I do know. They're scoring points in this game. I love the over here. I agree with the market move, Prez. I'm going over the 43.5 between the Giants and the Eagles.
I agree with that too, Joe. NHL rundown, 10 games on tap. Cue the clock. Let's go. San Jose playing the New York Islanders. I like the New York Islanders -1.5 here, Joe. I actually like the New York Islanders. I think they're a mediocre team, but I think there's going to be money to be made on this team. Toronto playing the New Jersey Devils. I like Toronto here, Joe. I also like the over in this game. Vancouver playing Pittsburgh. I like over the total of 5.5 in this game, Joe. I think that we're going to see a lot of scoring in this game. We're not going to see a lot of scoring in the Seattle-Washington game. I like under the total of 6. Always look to bet unders in a Washington game. Edmonton playing Ottawa. I like the Oilers, and I like the over in this game as well. Florida playing Boston. Never overthink it. Just take Florida games to the under, and you will make money. I think you could do the same with Boston moving forward as well. They're playing against each other. The number is 5.5. Take the under. Los Angeles playing St. Louis here, Joe. I like St. Louis. I'm not buying into this Kings team at all. I actually think this Kings team has built itself into a mess trying to figure out how to beat Edmonton in the first round. Take St. Louis -130. Dallas playing Columbus. You got to take Dallas in regulation here. What a good hockey team this Dallas Stars team is. Nashville playing Anaheim. I like Nashville, and I've been saying this a lot. I think Nashville last year was an aberration. I think they're a bet-on team moving forward, and I don't believe in the Anaheim Ducks. Take the Nashville Predators in Utah playing Colorado. I like the under in this game. I'm going to be looking to bet Utah under the total in all of their games. That is 10 games, 10 NHL games. Hope you guys find some good information there, Joe.
Hey, I'm curious, Prez, do you dabble in the Grand Salami at all this time? No, you don't even bother going in that direction there.
No, I did give out a Grand Salami bet last week once where I like the unders on every single game on the board. But no, that's not a bet I regularly or almost ever make.
No, they keep pulling goalies with 5 minutes left to go in games. I'm going to be looking at betting that to the over here some of these weeks.
It makes a lot of
teams.
sense, Joe.
Crazy.
Especially with 10 games going on, because they're going to be like some 4-minute or 3-minute empty netters in at least 3 or 4 of them.
Yep. Love that.
I like it.
Yep. All right,
okay,
let's
NBA
go.
rundown. Let's go.
All right, let's go. 2 games here tonight, going to kick off the NBA season. And it's ring night in Oklahoma City. There'll be a little ceremony. There'll be a little high-fiving, a lot of clapping, all of that good stuff there with the Oklahoma City Thunder, as they are going to get their well-deserved rings here. But the problem is those rings represent last year. Don't have anything to do with this year. The market has bet this up to Oklahoma City, laying 7 at home against a Houston Rockets team that unfortunately lost Fred VanVleet earlier here in about a month and a half ago. But they did bring in Kevin Durant, which I think is interesting. They also brought in the offseason Clint Capella to go along with Steven Adams and Alfred Sengun there. This team is huge. They are the biggest, longest, most athletic team you're going to see in the NBA, which is going to be interesting. No Jalen Williams tonight for Oklahoma City. He's still coming or actually healing up from the wrist injury there. I told you earlier, part of the parlay of the day, I like the under here. These are 2 teams that are going to make it very difficult to score inside the paint, as well as second chance points that won't exist. I like the under in that game here tonight. And then you've got the AARP game coming up late night with the Golden State Warriors, who are all just under 40 years old, it feels like. No LeBron here tonight, but it's really going to be how many points does Luka Doncic score? Hachimura over his points prop might not be a bad look in this game. This is another one where if you're expecting defense, you're not going to get it from the Lakers here. So maybe a little Steph Curry over his 3 prop, maybe, just maybe, a team total for Golden State up and over as well, Prez.
Joe, the mailbag segment, and a lot of love and interesting thoughts about Brian Power.
Ooh.
Some people, Jimmy Underwood, need to have Brian on. Prez, Miguel, we need Brian on the show. David, BP needs to be on the show all the time. Let's vote about whether Brian Power should be on the show all the time. You go first, Joe.
No? Am I supposed to raise my hand in favor, or how does that work?
I go with yes, but it had to be unanimous, Brian. So Joe sold you out.
Nay. Yep, nay. Absolutely not. I mean, listen, it's as a fill-in, maybe,
Brian Power is freaking perfect for the show, and he will be on the show every single Monday moving forward. Jim Longo is tired of the bullshit here. He wants winners, chop.
He's good.
Yeah, though. I don't even know what to say.
I want to know, though. Matt B204V wanted to know, Prez, what place did you finish at the card tournament that you left us with Brian Power for? And you didn't mention it, so I'm assuming you didn't finish well.
I got 20 from the money, Joe, so nothing to report. It was a horrible 3 days of poker, but I'm glad I went. I'm back at it again in a few weeks. We'll talk about it there. Robert Morris, we asked yesterday, what's your favorite song ever? And he went with Thunderstruck. That's just not possible. Like, there is not even AC/DC would think Thunderstruck is the greatest song ever. Like, there's just no way that anyone could put a song that sounds exactly like every other AC/DC song as the top song ever. It's a fine song. I get it. It's bubblegum rock and roll. I understand. But
it's not even the best AC/DC song. It's not. Shoot the Thrill.
It's not even the best top 5 AC/DC song. What is?
Shoot the Thrill is the best AC/DC song.
From an original perspective, I think Highway to Hell might be. And then someone wrote, how about bringing on Kelly in Vegas? And that's where we're going to end, Joe, because Kelly, if you're out there, you're welcome on our show anytime. Come on, We got room for you.
Yep. Come on.
I think it's Kelly that refuses to come on our show, Joe, not the other way around.
Well, if I was Kelly and I'm on 95 other different things right now, it would kind of be hard to fit in the although it is the best betting show ever. And one more, Prez, for good luck. Shout out to R. Hurd, who says, such unlikable and annoying guys. Wow. I agree 100%, dude. 100%. But thanks for watching. We appreciate you stopping by here.
Okay. Later, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow on the best betting show ever.
It is. I swear to you it is.